So today I am going to share with you tips on how I have worked with my fiance in our business in the last 7 years. I'm going to share with you our ups and downs. Be sure to stay tuned. My name is Shaytoya and I am a mompreneur, and I help moms grow their business as they raise their family. Kevin and I are totally opposites when it comes to running a business. So, there was a lot of things that we've had to learn with working with each other. Kevin is super structured, and I have never been very structured, not super organized. So working with Kevin, I've had to kind of learn on how to be more structured. And me personally, I'm just someone, just tell me what to do and I'm going to get it done. And Kevin is the same as well. That's why we fit, but he's very structured and he likes, Excel sheets and all that good stuff. And so because we are so opposite when it comes to our personalities and business and all that good stuff, we've had to kind of learn on how to work with each other in business. So my tip number one, it's super important, is you must define your roles and responsibilities. Like, this is the most important. So it's very important that you agree on specific roles for each other, responsibilities, and you stay in your lane. Also ensure that nobody's stepping on each other's toes. Like, if you are going to focus on finances, that's your focus, and this other partner, don't step on each other's roles. That's their responsibility. If you're great with people, possibly take over the HR responsibilities. If your spouse is great with documents and the legal framework, maybe that's the area of business that they should be in as well. It's very important as we are working together that you are open to feedback and suggestions from your spouse, which can sometimes be super hard. Hearing from your partner, I want to do it this way. I don't like it the way you did those things. However, it also should be clear who would make the final decision. So with our construction business, guess what, guys? Kevin, at the end of the day, is going to make the final decision on the way we run our construction business. So for that reason, we have an idea who's in charge. And so that's Kevin. This is very important, especially when it comes to our construction business, because this is very easy to kind of know who's in charge when it comes to do so. I have nothing to do with getting the work done. Kevin makes sure our team is getting work done, and it's my job just to make sure the office is taken care of. So, with that being said, I might lead our office employees and Kevin's going to lead our techs. And so, also Kevin is the person who makes the final decision with the business, as well as, since we both have our own roles. Tip number 2 is to separate work from personal life. And guys, this can be super hard. There's times where, we're sitting at dinner and we're talking about the business. We're talking about the kids. We're talking about everything else but us. So it's very important that you, time block things of when you're going to talk about the business. That way business is not taking over your whole entire life. I think that's super important. Also, it's very important that you, if you're working in business for your spouse, with your spouse, it's very important that you take time for each other. I'm super lucky because anytime I want to be like, Mom, watch our kids. And so my mom actually watches our 2 children. We have a 3-year-old and a 5-month-old now. Can't believe it. She watches them every Friday. That way me and Kevin can have a date night. Sometimes we may not go out. Sometimes maybe we're just watching Netflix and chill at home. But at the same time, we're having time where it's just about us. Tip number 3 is to set clear boundaries. And I think this is super important. And if you're like Kevin and I, who are working from home, it can be very tough. I think it's very important that you have a location of where you plan to get your work done. Sometimes it can be very difficult, but working together could possibly rub you off individually. You might have a different perspective on some issues, different work style needs, what the business should have. As I said, Kevin and I are very opposite when it comes to running a business. So that's something that we kind of had to work together and kind of learn how is it that we're going to work together. And so I think it does help with us is that we do work, a lot of times we are working together, but at the same time, Kevin goes out in the field, he's doing job sites, he's doing things, so we're not on top of each other all day, every day. So I think that's super important when it comes to working together, is that you guys have your space. Our computers are located in the same area, but Kevin's not always at the office, so it does help with not always being together all the damn time, which I think is super important. Tip number 4 is to talk to someone. Kevin and I both think it's super important to talk to a professional. During my last pregnancy, my daughter's currently 5 months, we thought it was a great idea to talk to someone who was a professional about our relationship, about working together in business. Our relationship is amazing because we do talk to professionals. on getting an outside perspective instead of having to, not have anyone to talk to you about things. So talking to someone else outside of us, I was able to kind of get things off of my chest. Kevin was able to get things off of his chest. And then we were able to build our business to be a whole lot happier because we've got everything off our chest. I've always been that type of person who holds everything in. So I'm learning on talking it out and not always holding my emotions in, which I think is super, super important. Working with Kevin has been such a great journey, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We have grown up together, which is amazing. We've been together about 9 years, which is awesome. We have 2 kids, and we also run a construction business, and I have my YouTube channel. And so we've grown up together. Next week, I will be interviewing Alex and AJ. Alex is actually a kidpreneur, and AJ is his dad, and they talk about how to start a business as a child. So if you are looking to possibly help your children get into business, be sure to watch next week's video.